Suddenly Fluttershy by Neham. Chapter 4. Friends. With her bandaging done, the Pegasus softly rolls herself to the ground, safely getting her footing once she lands. You are still curious about how she got here of all places, but aren't quite sure if now is an appropriate time to ask now that she is aware that she is in a place where everything she has known her entire life does not exist. Well, it might help her if she tries to remember. So the possible grain of info that it could use should outweigh the minor sorts of taboo. Do you remember what happened before you woke up here? She shakes her head, her messy pink mane waving along her movement.
I just went to bed, and when I woke up, I was here.
So I figured that this wouldn't be easy. You relax in your seat, noticing just how roughed up your visitor looks. And right here must have been pretty rough. You got some pretty nasty cuts yourself. Here, let me return the favor. You got out of her chair and motioned for her to sit down. Predictably, she looks unsure of the offer. Don't worry, I hurt myself all the time. I know how to treat a few cuts, you say with a smile. It takes her a little while, but Fluttershy finally responds.
If you say so,
The Pegasus answers, taking to the air once more before descending onto your chair. Now that you think about it, you have no clue either usually cautious pony would actually let you do this. You have even more trouble believing it since you appeared to not know how to even take care of your own wounds earlier, as you tend to her wounds in a way that closely matches her technique. You mull over Fluttershy's willingness to let you operate on her. Maybe she's starting to trust you already. Or is it she's just too afraid to say no? Either way, you're almost done treating the cuts on her body. She sure took the disinfectant a lot better than you did. That's for damn sure. While you would swear like a sailor every time she as so much as touched you with it, she would just rinse and let out a small whine. And there we go. That all ought to hold for now. Everything feel alright? You ask while packing up the leftover medical supplies. The male lightly tests her bandages and nods her head once again, causing her mane to bounce with her motions.
feel fine,
She says in her usually shy demeanor.
and thank you.
Not a problem, you reply, heading out the door to return the medical supplies to the home. Arriving at her bathroom, you place each item in a spot that's easy to remember. You never have to use them often, luckily. Upon returning to your bedroom, you find your chair rotated around so the back is to you and the front is facing your computer screen. The culprit muffles your steps as you make your approach to your destination. Something tells you that this visitor is a bit curious about the big shiny rectangle on your desk, and you aren't about to pass up the opportunity to observe this phenomenon. You take your inner nature documentary cameraman takes over as you quietly watch her figure out what your monitors. And here we have a magical cartoon horse in her not-so-natural habitat. Oh, she seems to have found something that had piqued her interest. Let's see what happens, you say in your head. Jokes aside, this is a good time to endorse her to technology. Plus, your mischievous side is going to get a kick out of her reaction when she finds out you've been here all this time. Soon, you're standing right behind the seat, waiting to see what she does. Turns out, not much, as all she does is look around the various parts of her desktop wallpaper and various icons. Eventually, the pony raises a hoof towards the display. However, seeing as no one has given the computer any actual input in over 10 minutes, the screen goes black just as her hoof makes contact. Best timing ever. A wave of panic seems to overtake her as she frantically falls back and looks around her desk for a solution for the problem. She tries tapping the screen with her hoof again to no avail, letting out a squeak of nervousness in response as she falls back into the chair once more. You stifle your childish giggles, having more fun than you should, watching an Aaron horse struggle with technology. That wasn't enough to hide them from her, though. Fluttershy spins around, meeting their gaze with her big panicked eyes. A dumb smile spreads over your face as you let out your even dumber giggles go free. Having fun, you ask. Have been gotten the giggles out of the system. In a flurry of yellow feathers, the Pegasus jumps from her seat and begins to profusely apologize as tears run her eyes. I'm sorry, I'm broke, she says, quivering almost as bad as she did when she first met you. Okay, you may have let this go get a bit too far already. Best to end this now before any further damage is done to her weary mind. Lean over and wriggle the mouse, making the display pop back to life. It does that if you don't do anything to it for a long time. It conserves energy battery. A smile already on her face, and you kneel down to match Fluttershy's height. Do you have computers where you come from? You ask. You're fairly certain they don't, but obviously can't let her know you know that. Not yet, at least. The pony shakes her head, wiping away the tears from her. Well, hop back up here and I'll show you what this can do. Wee wee, she asks in surprise. You roll your eyes. No, I'm gonna keep you locked up in here away from a friend's family. Come on. The seats are yours. You're so putting the seat once more. That actually may not be too far from the truth if this is going to be the same rules as your Fred. Which brings to your attention the fact that you'll have to tell her eventually what's going on. If it's true, hell, you should probably tell her eventually regardless. Getting back to your feet, you wait for her to get back up to where she was so you can commence the show and tell before beginning the grand tour. You complete records of internet browser so that no evidence of your previous pony adventures on the web are seen. You start by showing her the basics. The mouse, keyboard are the first up. Fluttershy is somewhat entertained by the mouse and how moving it around also moves her cursor on the screen. You couldn't tell if she was relieved or disappointed when he explained that the word mouse is as a name for the device, and that it wasn't an actual live mouse. The keyboard isn't easy to explain now. Open up a text editor, type up a few short sentences.
Wow, she explains. Typing goes so much faster this way. You have typewriters back home, but they're not used for too much.
You smile at her all. It's actually kind of cute getting back on topic. You kneel down and look next to your desk. Ever lit a box and makes it all possible.
And this down here.
And this down here is the computer itself. Fluttershy looks back up a model confused. What about
this, Yax?
The Francis takes what this is doing and displays it in a readable form, you answer. You're about to lean over her and start opening a few programs, but get it better open. But get it better. Go on, grab a mouse and try clicking on a few things. Looking unsure, she speaks.
Are you sure? I don't want to break anything.
The packager says, voicing no concern. With a smile in the roll of your eyes, you really assure her that nothing is going to break, although the hard drive has been getting slow and making more noise with it. It'll hold for a few more months. The mouse design is difficult for her to use with her hoof, but she manages as she begins to explore her PC. A look of amazement is pasted on the mirror's face as he guides her through the various functions of the PC. After a few minutes in the paint program, she finds her way into your pictures folder. In it is a group of people in a grassy park. Only a few people in it are all posing for the camera. The rest are doing their best to do something dumb for when the picture is taken. It's a memory that sticks out to you. This was a day of a graduation. You see yourself with your small group of friends. Everyone looks like they're on top of the world. Fluttershy's amazement breaks, and she points at where you are looking.
I see you, White Bill. All those are friends with you.
For just a bit longer, you go over the picture before responding. It's been a while and the memories fell back. Yeah, I haven't seen them for quite a few years now, you say, reflecting on the times you all spent together. Maybe you should try hang out with some of your coworkers sometime. Make some new friends that are actually keep in contact with ones you have. You have a life to focus on though. Too now, if this doesn't end up being some strange fever dream, Fluttershy's face seemed to convey sadness as he looks down at her hooves.
I hope my friends are okay.
Author's note. I hate myself.